Hi, good evening. My name is Ashley Breedlove, and I wanted to share my literacy remediation presentation with you. First, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. Going into my 8th year of teaching, and for the last 5 years, I have taught research, which is what actually replaced core reading instruction in the middle school settings in Florida. Last year, I started teaching Tier 2 reading, which is our intervention reading, and my principal decided that next year and going forward, I'm going to be teaching reading intervention, Tier 2 reading. I'm really excited for that. I have 2 children, Gavin and Aubrey. Gavin is 11 and he's going into 6th grade middle school next year. And Aubrey is 9 and she's going into 4th grade. And my goal is to gain a position as a reading coach in the elementary level once my children are finished through middle school. Next, I'm going to talk to you about the 5 components of reading and how they're connected to writing. As you know, I stated that there are 5 components and they build upon one another in order for a child to progress and learn to read and understand what they read and write. Step 1 is called phonemic awareness, which refers to a student's ability to focus and manipulate phonemes, which they're the smallest unit of spoken language. These phonemes are spoken in syllables and words. Phonemic awareness facilitates growth in printed word recognition and printed word recognition for pre-literacy skills and the ability to hear rhymes and alliteration. The second progression in reading is phonics, which is the relationship between letter sounds when reading or letters or reading combinations in writing. Phonics can teach students how to use these relationships in order to read and to spell words. The third progression in reading is called fluency, and fluency is when a student is able to read orally with appropriate speed, accuracy, and expression, as well as making sense of the content without stopping to decode what they're reading. Fluency in reading is essential in writing because it allows them to write word patterns, vocabulary, and content appropriately. The fourth progression in reading is vocabulary, which closely connects to comprehension. When a reader has a large vocabulary, oral or print, it is easier for them to comprehend the text that they're reading. And a student with a wide vocabulary allows them to use more descriptive words when writing and able to adapt to their audience. Last but not least, the final component is comprehension in reading, and that's the most complex skill to learn. It's the ability to know what happened in a story and recall information which helps deepen their level of understanding. Writing instruction can be improved with reading comprehension with the teaching of writing skills, grammar, and spelling lessons. So some instructional strategies that can reinforce these 5 components of reading plus writing are for phonemic awareness, which pre-reading skills can be done by clapping to the beats in books and songs of each syllable, or playing, for instance, an I Spy Something Red that starts with S type of fun game. Teaching phonics can be reinforced before, during, and after reading by alphabet matching, using letters for students to learn sounds, as well as matching upper and lowercase letters, and writing by drawing a line to match capital with lowercase. Reinforcing fluency is best supported by shared reading. When the teacher models the skill of reading with prosody and expression while the student joins or follows along by sharing a book. Word maps can help reinforce vocabulary as a visual organizer that students write on to develop a definition with synonyms, antonyms, and even drawing a picture. Those really help the students visualize those words. Finally, spelling and comprehension can be supported by sequencing, which allows the student to share what happened in the beginning, the middle, and the end, and retell the events of a story. So next, I'm going to share with you the importance of assessments and progress monitoring. It is very important for teachers to assess student learning and to progress monitor the students for several reasons. Assessments allow teachers to get a baseline for student data, and everything is driven by data. It also allows them to create lessons. Monitoring their progress helps teachers further drive their instruction by evaluating the effectiveness of what they're teaching so that they can make necessary changes to improve the quality of their teaching. This can be accomplished by doing an initial learning probe, getting a baseline for an oral reading frequency test, which allows the teacher to create a goal for the student. It shows what they know, what they don't know, and to create some goals for them. And then you would progress monitor the students to make sure that they're working towards that achievement goal. Progress monitoring is done by thoughtfully analyzing that student data, figuring out what their needs are, and monitoring their growth. This can be done by creating student data journals, which I personally love because it makes the children hold more accountability to themselves, and it allows them to gain ownership of their learning growth. Next, you can use a data binder, so you have the whole class of information in one binder. And finally, using technology for data collection, such as Google Forms, allows you to be able to immediately share that data with whoever needs it, your principal, any administrators, your reading coaches, whoever. Finally, we have online resource, and something that teachers can use for an online resource for struggling students, struggling readers and writers, is the use of Nessie, which is an evidence-based Orton-Gilling program, which is designed for grades kindergarten through 6th grade. And it helps them to develop and advance instruction in spelling, morphology, vocabulary, and comprehension. And as an added bonus, it is ELL friendly. There are many ways that a literacy/reading coach can be supportive of the teachers and the students in their school. A reading specialist specifically helps to extend teaching beyond the classroom. They help to supplement learning. This can be done by implementing whatever chosen reading literacy program is for your school and working with the teachers to meet the needs of students. At times, they might facilitate NPLCs and help to disseminate data and design individualized instruction for students. Other times, they're just an ear to listen and a sounding board, which to me is very important for teachers to have. Above all, they provide leadership, resources to educators, parents, and the community. Thanks for listening. Have a good evening.